like, you want a better relationship, find a motherfucker who's looking to ascend. I'm not talking about putting up the front for the first 2-3 months, like, because we all put the front up for the first 2-3 months. Fuck, you're not gonna show all of it. You know, I commend anybody who up front says, "I look, this is who I am. I ain't playing. Like, this is what it is." Just be careful with that, because then you show me early. Yeah, we ain't gonna make no music. We're just not. And that's why we suffer a lot, because we don't know when to walk away from shit. Because we've been taught, okay, look, you know, you gotta fight through it. It just may be this. Nah, your frequency doesn't match that person's frequency. Y'all are making noise. So let's say y'all bite that bullet. We just gonna make noise. Let's just say we're gonna make noise, right? Then y'all bring children into this noise. Who bring children into noise? Who then seek noise for their relationships to bring more children into noise. Why? Because that's all we know. It's not, I'm not just talking about financial stability and things like that. Like, all of those things will give you the resources and the means to be able to take your time and, you know, understand this person and say, hey, I want our frequencies to work. But that's why relationships are what they are. You know what I'm saying? You got people who are trying to blend frequencies that just don't match. You feel what I'm saying? I've lost quite a few relationships that, you know, I've been in, it's crazy because, like, we call, and the person that we truly need to be with, we call them corny. We don't really want to be with them because we just like, yo, that person is just like me. Again, that goes back to the solar plexus. If you cannot be with a motherfucker who's just like you, what does that say? I was on Instagram one day and I made a post. I was like, yo, I always say this. I say, like mind, like body, like soul. I want a motherfucker who's like me. Motherfuckers be like, I couldn't do that. That'll be too boring. It's not for me. I'm lit as fuck, yo. I'm cooler than a motherfucker, yo. If you have it, if you, like, whether you know this shit or not, or whether you are willing to admit that shit, I'm cooler than a motherfucker, yo. And I love my fucking self. I like me. You feel what I'm saying? So how much more would I like a motherfucker who's like me? Hell, my 3 closest friends, the 4 of us, the 4 amigos, we just alike, and we the best of friends. Duh. Cause we damn near the same motherfucker, like, you know what I'm saying? But we don't get in relationships with people like that. We get in relationships with our polar opposites. Why? Because we have not had that personal identity piece to say I am comfortable with myself, and I need to. So if you, this is crazy. Cause like when people say that, like I don't need somebody who's like me. That'll be boring. I ask them, can you be alone? Are you comfortable being alone and being by yourself? They can say yeah, but I know the answer is no. If you can't be with a person who's like you, then how can you be with yourself? Shit get deep. So it's like, it's hard, like when people are not over their solar plexus, you can see it. If you were experiencing, you know about shit like that, you be like, ah man, it was cool as fuck. But it is what it is. You feel me? So that's a piece that, you know, we gotta work on. Like, you gotta first learn how to be alone and be with know what your frequency is. Motherfuckers still figure themselves out. Cause we never taught to sit and take time to figure ourselves out. Cause we confuse lonely and alone. We use those interchangeably, they're not the same. Lonely is a state of feeling. Alone is a state of being. It's different. You know what I mean? But if we don't, you know, learn how to do that and teach younger generations how to do that earlier, we're gonna fuck up the whole world as a society. Like, you can't love that way. You feel me? But see, it's like the best way to do that is either vibe with people that are on your frequency. This is why it sucks that, like, it's like when we look at, you know, us as people, as black people, we always try to define how black somebody is. Oh, he ain't really black because, you know, he talked this way. Now, granted, let me say this. There are some black people who do carry themselves as Caucasian people. I'm not talking about them, because that shit's real. You feel what I'm saying? They say, okay, hey, you can't talk white. Yes, you can. I never said articulate. I'm not referring to articulation. Articulation is just a matter of accurately saying the full word. But some people can't talk white. When you actually start, when you change your vocal patterns, when you change your vocal frequencies and your tonal frequencies to match their tonal frequencies, in which we naturally have deeper voices than them. We naturally have more baritone in them, male and female. Doesn't matter. But when we start to try to sound like them, increase the octaves of our voices and shit like that, that's when you're talking white. But again, I'm not speaking on articulation and shit like that. But what I'm saying is, if we really, you know, took the time to step back and said, okay, look, there's not a type of black, but there's a frequency associated with the multiple levels of black, and we need to learn how to harmonize with that. We could do that shit.